At the COBYS Permanency Unit, we are currently serving 69 families. 40 of those families, which is 58%, are involved in the County Children and Youth Agency because of drug abuse. 70% of children placed through the COBYS foster care program are in care because of at least one parent struggling with drug addiction. We are in the midst of a drug epidemic, and those hit hardest are the children. I came to talk to you, Tim, about two boys whose mom was engaged in an uphill battle with heroin. The Lancaster County Children and Youth Agency worked with this family for several years while mom struggled with drug use. In 2016, the boys were placed in the custody of the agency because their mom could no longer keep them safe. One of the boys was able to reside with his grandparents, while the younger boy was placed with the COBYS Foster Adoptive Resource Family. COBYS Permanency staff also had the opportunity to work with this family. We worked with mom to set her up with resources and services, motivated and empowered her to work through drug and alcohol treatment and to be the best mom that she could be for her boys. We walked alongside her through the peaks and valleys of her treatment and sobriety. We celebrated with her when she was close to being 2 years sober and had completed the goals that the court had ordered for her. Her boys were going home. Then, less than 2 weeks before Christmas, and less than 1 week before the boys were supposed to go home, we received a call that mom had overdosed on heroin and passed away. The resource family caring for the youngest boy had been preparing him for reunification with his mother and celebrating with him that he would soon return home, but instead needed to grieve with him that his mother was now dead due to her addiction to a powerful drug. What do we say to these boys? How do we process this tragedy with them? How will Christmas ever be a joyous occasion again for these boys? COBYS Permanency and foster care staff collaborated with our counseling department to talk about how to begin to process this loss with the boys, and also helped our workers to process the loss themselves. We discussed how to talk to the boys, how to use the word death so that they knew their mom was not coming back, how to tell them that it was okay to be angry, it was okay to cry and be sad. We talked about how to help the foster parents get through the grief process with the children. The COBYS adoption worker who had been working through child preparation with the youngest boy, preparing him to go home, had to shift her work to talk to him about the grief and loss and prepare him for adoption. At a time of tragedy, COBYS came together to support this family. Several COBYS staff attended the viewing and the funeral. We worked with our counseling department to begin trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy for the boys to help them process the grief and loss of their mother. Thankfully for the youngest boy, his resource parents are eager to begin the process of adoption so that he can be loved in a permanent and stable home. The older boy will continue to live with his grandparents and at the end of this month achieve permanency through legal guardianship. As a supervisor at the Permanency Unit, I sometimes get the chance to sit back and watch a case unfold. I get to witness workers in the trenches with family and see their dedication and commitment as they advocate for what is best for our children. I can say that the way our staff came together to support this family is unlike anything I have seen in my 6.5 years at COBYS. From the permanency caseworker empowering and motivating mom to work on her plan, to collaboration between the units to support one another and support these children through tragedy, to foster parents who never wavered in their love and commitment for a child, I saw a glimmer of hope in an otherwise tragic situation. While we continue to fight what seems like an uphill battle with the drug epidemic, there is no doubt in my mind that COBYS is making a positive difference in the lives of children and families.